The United States has started deportation flights for thousands of Haitian migrants camped under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas. As a dangerous heat wave creeps into the area, border agents say they have at least 12,000 migrants living in makeshift camps waiting to cross into the U.S. But Del Rio isn't the only border town battling the ongoing surge of migrants. Chris Cabrera, the vice president of the National Border Patrol Council, is based out of McAllen, Texas. He joins us now to explain what he's seeing on the ground. Chris, appreciate the time and expertise, sir. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
First, if you can tell us, I know you've got your eye very closely on the sector that you're in McAllen, that part of the border, a little bit east of Del Rio, southeast of Del Rio. But what's happening at the Del Rio crossing right now? What are you hearing from your Border Patrol colleagues?
From what I'm hearing, and I'm actually heading out there tomorrow, it's just a complete mess. It's an utter failure. We're allowing people just to come in, undeterred. They're coming in and setting up shop basically underneath one of our ports of entry there. 15,000 people out there, and it's not safe for anybody involved, whether it's a health risk, a physical safety risk for our agents and for those folks that are under there.
Now, what's really happening in the processing here? It's been reported, Chris, that family units are probably being released or largely being released from this big surge into the U.S., but individual migrants are being deported. Do we have any sense of those percentages or how this is playing out? I mean, it seems to defy belief that you could have 10 or 12,000 or 15,000 people all gathered together and a large percentage of them aren't getting in. Why would they be there otherwise?
Yeah, they're coming in. They're coming in at will. They're actually going back and forth into Mexico through that Weir Dam. The vast majority will be released into the country. And that's just if that's not including the males who may make some type of asylum claim. And then you always run the risk of some of these children there. They're going to have unaccompanied children, and those folks will get detained. But then you have the adult males that are going to get sent back. And it's just that it's ripe for that fraud where they grab a kid and say it's their kid just so that they can get released. And that happens more often than not. And that's a very dangerous situation.
This is what the mayor of Del Rio, Mayor Lozano, who is a Democrat, says when it comes to whether or not the federal government has reached out directly to him. Play it.
You have been trying to tag President Biden on Twitter. Have you heard from him or his office or Vice President's office?
Not directly from the Vice President or President's office, unfortunately. I have been just trying to spread the dire situation here.
So he hasn't heard directly from them. Do you know from Border Patrol colleagues, is there a surge of Border Patrol agents? Is the federal government doing anything to address this crisis that's going to actually make it dissipate in the days ahead? I mean, what's the response, Chris?
Well, unfortunately, there is a surge of agents there, but not necessarily to keep people out. There's a surge of agents over there going to help process, but they're not actually, Border Patrol is not actually doing anything to keep these people from coming in. And if we want to concentrate on getting the people processed and stopping it, we need to put up a show of force along that riverbank and deny them access to coming into our country undeterred, because the whole world is just flouting our laws right in our face. They're doing what they want, and we're essentially being reduced to Walmart greeters.
Is there any concern about a kind of jailbreak situation that I know has occurred elsewhere at the border, where hundreds of migrants could just mass and make a run for it? I mean, how open is this area where they're currently camped out?
No, that's completely wide open, and the threat is there. I mean, it's a very real possibility, especially with the fact that these folks still have their telephones, and once that first wave gets back to Haiti and people start realizing that the Haitians are getting sent back and no one else, it's going to create some problems. And if you look at that little makeshift camp they had down there, you can see they have the little carrizo bamboo looking shelters that they're building. I mean, you have to cut those with something. So it tells you that they may have access to some type of tool or weaponry that could be used against our agents.